So sorry about the noise in the background, but I do have to do my washing. Yeah. I am going to proceed with my Team Yankee projects. So this is the last piece for my Team Yankee Soviets. It's a BMP2, well, platoon with options for either assembling a BMP1 or BMP2 company. So this is literally the last thing I need to do before I finish this project, which is great. So let's get to it. Alright, so opening, we've got all of the necessary parts, obviously. Little crewmen, won't bother with those because, well, I only tend to do those for command vehicles, and that's just another thing I need to get painted. So we've got the tracks and the hulls, unit cards, and some transfers, which I'm going to safely ignore. Anyway, so this is actually quite boring. Yep, instructions are on the back of the box. So we'll start by getting the hulls done. Yep, the BMP2 has a wider body, like that's the BMP1 hull, that's the BMP2 hull, so I've got to remember that. So we'll start first of all with just getting the lower hull done. It's probably going to be quite boring, actually. I have been meaning to stream some more, mostly no real reason, just kind of felt like it today. Only good for about 2 hours as well, I've got to go out later. Anyway, so we'll just do this a piece at a time. Just on one side, get our tracks. These are very simple kits, that's a good thing about the new Battlefront plastics. So you really do not have to muck around, and the models that they end up producing are pretty good. I'm going to pull this off Twitch once I'm done. I'm going to try and knit it into a bit of a tutorial. Let's actually put some music on while I'm doing this. Okay. It's been a while since I've done any video stuff, and this seems like a good enough opportunity. Just finished up basically more my... never mind, hang on. Alright, that was a bit obnoxiously loud. Now to sand. So just quickly, this doesn't take too much effort, just demolish the tabs from the flash, from the, sorry, the sprue. Now, this kit also didn't appear to come with some rare earth magnets, so I might do that later. That is, magnetize the turret. Alright, so that's the basics for the hull. Let's get glue. And... oh, come on. I'm gonna stab myself. There. Okay, so do we have... oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, so we are probably going to have to declog this the dramatic way. Come on, there we go. So the blowtorch comes out. That's better. Just want to basically burn away and melt any glue that's blocking up the tube. Anyway, let's dunk it in my rinse water so I don't burn myself, and we're done. Perfect. So that's how you clear a jam in one of these things as well. It's just got a bit of water on it. Just gonna, oops. Okay, make sure this obviously goes up the right way. Ah, there we go. And be careful doing that, because you run the risk of putting fingerprints on the model with this sort of plastic cement. So just try and avoid that if possible. But that's mostly just restricted up the top there, so that is good enough. Now we are done with the lower hull, so let's pull together the upper hull. So you want the BMP 2, obviously, so we'll get that. And what else do we need? Obviously the turret. So since the lower hull is drying, I'm just going to quickly sand off the flash. Okay, I think that'll do. I'm probably taking a bit more of a risk because this is fully dry. Let's just do a test fit. Okay, that's pretty much perfect. Come on, there we go. Alright, so normally you do both sides, but I'm pretty much fine just with one. Because the idea is this stuff will actually start melting the plastic on both sides and sort of like concrete it together, basically. But I'm not going to go to that level of care at this point. And that is pretty much the lower hull. Well, the hull in its entirety. Yeah. I'm just going to turn down my music a bit more because it's obnoxious. And there. Now we can finish off the turret. So obviously you want the larger turret ring. Larger turret. And I don't really feel like painting the crew, so we're just going to do these with closed hatches. So let's just refer to that. Yep, all good. She might have some pre-painted crew. probably should have checked this before I started, but yeah, I might have some lying around. Oh well, I just might leave the last one partially assembled and then hunt around off stream. Okay, so again, just removing that flash. Now these are sanding sticks. You can get them from, well, generally hobby supply stores, and they come in a variety of grits. These are pretty much essential for me now for any sort of plastic modeling, because these have the unique ability to like bend a bit, which makes them great for like filtering around surfaces. Don't use metal files on plastic, you'll just mess up the plastic, something shocking. Alright, so we want to, yep, it sits in rather nicely. Just like that. We'll put in some glue. Oh, pardon me. And, come on. Come on. There we go. Let's make sure it's sitting flush as it can be bothered with. And that's the lower turret, or the turret rather. Finally, we need the smoke launchers later. And we need the, where is it? Am I missing a piece? Yep, here we go. So you need the autocannon. And the 86, I believe. Alright, what else? I think that's just about it. Oh yeah, we will need the smoke launchers. And these are the... I'll leave them on the sprue for the moment, because I'll just lose them if I dismount them early. Just again, clean up the flash. I'm just going to be very gentle here, because I don't want to start reshaping the curvature of this without cause. There we go. Now I'm not going to bother to draw out the gun barrel, because that's a bit of effort I don't feel I need to go to. I just want to get these guys finished off and not have to think about them again. Weirdly enough, I just kind of wanted a Team Yankee army. I don't think I'd actually play it, and if I did, it would be using the 6mm models, because, yeah, it looks kind of ridiculous on the tabletop. You've just basically got a car park worth of tanks engaging each other at close range, when in reality the distances would be far greater. So yeah, unfortunately, for that I'll need to put in an order to the UK at some point, and that's going to be expensive and take time. Careful with this, because there's a bit of glue on the underside. And there we go. And just glue down the cupola there. the commander's cupola. The gunner's hatch is permanently closed. Make sure it's aligned, that'll do. And finally the AT6. Now this has a little keyway on it, so we know which way we have to stick it in. Just put a bit of glue on both sides. And there we go. Nice. Those are the two main components done. Now, I'm going to be very inconsiderate and have a root around in my things. Alright, so couldn't find that crewman, but I did pull out from my display case one of the BMPs that I've finished previously. So sorry for the glare, but this is what they look like side by side. So yeah, it's a very simple paint job. This is basically me trying to speed paint 15mm armor. Anyway, let's proceed. So that we've got one more bit of assembly. I'll just put this away. And that is the smoke launchers. Here we go. Now I inevitably end up losing these little components, so the final snip to remove them is the point where you want to be careful. Gotcha. There we go. That's one. So, snip. And snip. Right, now just smooth out the tabs from the sprue, just a little bit. Be careful not to demolish any other detail in the process. Okay. Right, so that's that. Now, the illustrations are a bit difficult. So it's sort of like they're pointing up like that. So the angle is not quite right in my opinion, but oh well. So just put a bit of glue, just a little bit. Position on the turret about there. So it's not quite right, but we will fix that. Come on, gotcha. Like that, perfect. Though of course in the process we've disrupted our AT6. Cool. I just have to do the second one. So this time we'll put the glue directly on the turret and then come on. There we go. Just using our toothpick to move it around a little bit because using your fingers results in fingerprints. Just try and line them up a bit, so at the very least they're symmetrical, before the glue has a chance to fully cure. Bring it down. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, so that's the smoke launchers and all of the plastic is assembled. How long has this even been going for? I have no idea, but yeah. This should give you a clue as to how quickly these vehicles can be assembled. Now, I'll just quickly cover that up and get our rare earth magnets out. Pardon me. So, this is a part where things can go really badly wrong. Just got to make sure you've mated your magnets up in the right orientation and that the magnets you've chosen will actually fit. Oh yeah, this is good enough. Okay, so that's our orientation. So, just got to make sure we don't accidentally flip them. So, separate. Actually, I'm not entirely confident of that. Yep. Fuck. So we separate. Make sure we keep them the same facing down. And get out our super glue. Now, you can't use the plastic cement because that will not bond with the metal on the rare earth magnets. So just want a little bit of a drop in the little divot that Battlefront has kindly provided, and you've got to make sure that our magnet remains the same orientation and dries like that. Okay, so now flip the turret over and we flip the magnet over and put a bit of glue in the divot, pick up the magnet, being careful to maintain its orientation, and slide it in, and there we go. Now the super glue will take some time to dry, so yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll leave that, put this guy to one side and proceed. The downside to super glue, of course, is that it is a bit of a mess. Like, I need to get some some gel super glue that's easy to control, ideally in a quantity that is less stingy. Okay, so that's done. I'm just going to clean that off. And right, so I was taking my time a bit mucking around, but as you can see, these things are pretty quick to get off the sprue and assembled. So yeah, like these sorts of Battlefront plastics are well suited to batch painting. Like, I believe most of my Team Yankee army was basically done in one run. Just bits, and though I often like to break them up by unit just so I don't drive myself insane doing the same step over and over again, like my current World War II American infantry, which I foolishly decided to paint over 100 individual 50mm figures in a production line manner. Alright, let's just move on. And that'll have to be it. So that's pretty much it. Our BMPs are assembled. What I'm going to do now is... what am I going to do? Obviously, get these mounted on painting stands. I'm going to give them a coat of some surfacer, which should deal with any of the remaining gaps. Then I'm going to start painting. Yeah, this probably just not going to bother with the airbrush because that is more trouble than it's worth in my opinion these days. Oops. And what else? Yeah, just going to get them painted up using my speed painting method. So that is pretty much that. I will see you all next time. Later.